Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Josh Snipes, and if you're just checking the channel for the first time, basically I do all sorts of guides called How to Play an Operator. Now, How to Play an Operator is a series that I started with How to Play Hibana, and I plan to carry out pretty much with all the operators, just going over what makes them tick, who they are, how they fit in the meta, and tips and tricks towards the end of the video. Also, if they get any big changes, either nerfs or buffs, I'll make sure to leave a comment down below, or I'll pin someone else's comment if they comment it first. This series is how to play an operator within a team environment, how to play with your team, and kind of the role that you will fill on that team. Now, these views are subjective to what I've seen on Pro League, Challenge League, Go For is how I play and how I've seen others play. Also, it will help you whether you're solo queuing or if you're running in a 5-stack. Now, remember that different regions have different playstyles and that individual players have personal preferences, but overall, this is how I believe you should play the operator. Anyways, guys, let's start off with how to play Valkyrie. Now, Valkyrie actually came back in Year 1 Season 2. That is a long time ago if you're just checking out this game now, but she and Blackbeard, who is her partner in crime, part of the Navy SEALs organization. Now, when they joined, first off, Blackbeard was 100% broken, like just not even a competition on the most broken operator ever, but Valkyrie didn't have anyone like her at the time. And even now, there isn't a camera operator like her that can do the exact same things that she can do. Now, without going too deep into the loadout, she is a 2-speed, 2-armor operator. She also comes with a C4 and just 3 cameras that you can use. Now, when you're using these 3 cameras, it allows you to be able to cover your back. It allows you to create sort of that intel in rooms that you might or might not know were completely clear or not clear at all until you've started using Valkyrie. Valkyrie makes it a lot easier to roam, especially if you put your cams in really good spots either above or below an objective, because you can actually see if that room is clear or not without having to sort of face check and risk your life in the process. And that's one of the things that has made her so important. That's why I like her, using her so much. There's been so many times where I've left my cam on a site and see the plants going down last 20 seconds, you get that C4 off and you end up winning the round for your team just because you had the right place cam at the right place time. Another thing to note about our cameras is that although you do come with 3, they actually can be placed just about every single surface in the game. There's a very select few surfaces in the game. I can't even think of them off the top of my head, but they will pretty much just roll off. They don't really get destroyed or anything like that on a surface, but if you do decide to try and throw the camera outside the map for whatever reason, those will get destroyed. I promise you, trust me, I've done it a couple times, usually on accident, sometimes just to see if it actually destroyed it or not, but just make sure you don't throw them outside. Also, if you do put them, say, on a surface, either on the ground or on the ceiling, you'll have full 360 field of view, pretty much full 360, so don't worry too much about sort of not being able to see something. A lot of times people will intentionally put them on the ground or intentionally put them on the roof just so that they have that range of motion. If you put them on the edge of a surface or on a corner of something, you might not get that full range, but definitely just try out some different cam spots and see what works for what you're trying to do. Another thing I want to point out before we head on over into the loadout section of this video is that she has some fantastic synergies. Basically, her synergy is with her team. She's able to give off information where the diffuser is getting planted, where someone's rotating, how they're flanking, what they're looking at, if they're looking at someone behind them, looking at someone in front of them, if they're on their cam. Any sort of information that you can give to your teammates to give them the upper hand in a gun battle is something that will change the entire round and the outcome of what your scoreline is at the end of the day. That's why I think a very good Valkyrie can be crucial to a team, especially if you have great cam placements, which we'll kind of go over in the later part of this video. Lastly, if you have someone that has a C4, so say Mute, Cade, Bandit, anyone who normally will kind of sort of flank around or try to get under the site to maybe get a C4 off, this is great utility to have to be able to actually place the C4 in the correct spot rather than trying to guess this person might be in this corner or trying to get the default plane spot, anything like that. Pinging them out right when the diffuser's going down and getting a C4 off, that's probably one of the most pleasurable things in this entire game. Now, we're going to be heading on over to the loadout part of this video, and basically she starts off with 2 primaries. Now you have the MPX and the Spaz 12. Taking a look over at the MPX, this is going to be a submachine gun. At long range, you're not going to be in sort of the damage to body. The damage to the body is not going to be there. You're going to lose a lot of battles if you're not aiming for the head. This thing is a headshot machine, but when it's a headshot machine, it's not going to do a lot of damage, especially a submachine gun at that range. but it's not impossible to hit a headshot. I think this gun probably shoots a lot straighter than most of the guns in this game. And again, that's just what the design of this weapon is, and that's what makes her so good. It is sort of a pea shooter, so you do have to be careful, but I think that overall, once you become a good shot and kind of learn what exactly is offered by this gun, you'll get a lot better with it. Next, you have the Spaz 12. The Spaz 12 is a semi-automatic shotgun. You can spam it. It's not very good. It's okay, I'd guess. But the problem is that her secondary, you have a Deagle. Now, the Deagle is one of the nuttiest guns in the game. You can do so much with it. You can open up holes, not necessarily rotation holes, but holes big enough to be able to actually shoot through or be able to actually throw a C4 through. To me, that's the most important thing, is the utility of having that, so that you can open up floor panels or open up ceilings or open up sort of walls to be able to throw C4s through or shoot through. A lot of times this vertical play can help out in the later round. And that's probably the most important part to me, is that if I am roaming and I do need to get back onto site, or if I need to help out from above, I can at least open a hole from above, even though I'm not using the Spaz 12 shotgun. Lastly, you come with two gadgets. You have the deployable shield and the nitro cell. Now, the nitro cell is what you're going to want to take. Don't ever take the deployable shield unless you have some sort of strat built for her and the rest of your team's comp that works together for whatever reason. Her nitro cell is going to be what you need, what you want. You're not going to ever need anything else from her. And that's basically what makes her the operator that she is. And that's why she's such a good roamer, is she has these cams. She has a nitro cell to combo with it. And you don't have to worry about it getting stuck behind a wall or something, because the Deagle can open up that wall. You do just have to be careful. MPX, it's okay. It's not the world's best submachine gun in the game, but it does shoot pretty straight. So just practice your aim and you'll be A-okay.
Now, moving on over to the tips and tricks, I'm going to let these clips play so that way you guys can just see some cams that I typically use when I'm playing Valkyrie, just some outside cams that I have used over and over. I'm going to go over the counters really quickly because I think these cams are pretty self-explanatory. Now, IQ is a big counter as well as a Twitch drones. Basically, a Twitch drones is a counter just because of the fact that if you're not paying attention to your cam, she can shock it. Your cams do get shot. That's probably the best way to get rid of them. A lot of times that's how IQ gets rid of them also. Another thing is EMPs from Thatcher can also disable your cameras, which is a pretty big counter, more so for Maestro and Echo. But say the plant's going down, you're relying on this camera, you might be at a disadvantage if an EMP were to go off. And lastly, if your teammate dies, you can be hacked by Dokkaebi. Doke can actually get control of not only the black guys, but all the cams around. So try not to die too early if there's a Dokkaebi on the team, or try not to die off site so that she can't hack your cams. Especially the way that Valkyries usually place their cams, pretty useful information, but if they get in the wrong hands, you're going to be at a terrible disadvantage. You do just have to be careful because you will start seeing some Dokkaebis hack into those cams. Now, really quickly, you're seeing this cam getting placed. You can't ping anyone that's in CCTV, but it's fantastic for callouts because it's a really good spot that not too many people expect. And that's kind of the name of the game when you're playing as Valkyrie. You're trying to put cams in spots that people can't get to it normally, or they have to sort of peek into you in order to get that camera, or B, it's a really well hidden camera that not many people know the default spots on. Another thing is a lot of outside cameras are really good on the corners of buildings. You see that one right there looking over the garage and yellow staircase. This has great field of view on both sides of the building, and you're going to see some other ones that are on the opposite side that cover pretty much the entire front of Consulate. A lot of times, these are the things that you need to think about as a Valkyrie main. There are so many options. You just have to decide where exactly you want to put them. Normally, I try to put them either above head height or at the floor level. More so floor level if it's in an actual site rather than outside, because a lot of times if someone has to look down and you peek a corner, they're not going to be looking at you, especially not at head level if they're trying to get that camera. So a lot of times you can end up baiting your own cameras as they're shooting that camera. You can peek on out, and that's a very good use when you have someone that's dead on your team. They can give you a quick call out, hey, he's about to shoot the camera, and right as that happens, you peek on out, get the kill, and solidify it. Now, here's another tip that actually came from Hologram Sam over at Siege Academy. This is one of the biggest things. Now, you can actually bounce a camera off of another camera and get to surfaces that you normally couldn't get to. You can't do it with the C4 anymore. I tried testing it. You see that here. I don't know what happened to it changed, if they maybe nerfed it or something like that, but the biggest thing is that you can bounce a camera off another camera and under different debris and different items. This is really, really, really hard to see. If you didn't know this camera was here, you would definitely not see this because you can't see the blue light. You can hardly even see the bottom of that camera, but the camera gives you full field of view. So it's just something to think about. There's a lot of different cases where this might actually work out, and not a lot of people look this low. Also, if the blue light is pointing down at the floor, no one's going to be able to see it easier than if it was pointing straight at them, say if it was pointed on a wall. Now, lastly, this is a thing that I was talking about earlier. If you put it on a wall versus a flat surface, you don't get that full 360 range of motion. Here you can see I got full range, but on the wall, I only got 180. Now, this is very useful when you're trying to put cams on the ceiling or maybe on a rafter or something like that. So make sure when you're placing your cameras that you're thinking about where exactly this is going, because that's very important to basically becoming a good Valkyrie main. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video for today. Let me know if you have any tips for Valkyrie. I feel like Valkyrie is pretty self-explanatory in terms of cam placements. I'm not going to do a whole cam placements video unless you guys ask for it. I didn't want to do it in this video. I just wanted to show a couple default spots that I've seen on just to give you guys some ideas and things to build off of. And that's going to be it for today. Let me know if you have any tips down in the comments below, and that's going to wrap things up. And anyways, this is going to be Josh Snipes signing off.
Buy bomb. Nice job. No, you hit it. You tagged the shoulder.
Oh, I must have shot.